Welcome into All Joe and Madden here on Picks and Parlays. I'm Joe and I'm joined by Dre Rich today. We're going to talk the college football game, 7 p.m. Eastern. Utah, the Utes taking on Baylor. Now, this one opened as a spread of 8.5. We are seeing one or two eights out there. The majority of the books do have Utah favored by the 7.5 now, as money has come in on Baylor. Now, that total once up 60.5. There's a couple of 60.5 still hanging around, but the majority of them have moved down to 59.5. Dre, I'm interested in this total, sort of. I'm not sure why it's moved down this way. I don't know. What do you think? Is this total too high?
The total is pretty high. The problem is that the fluctuation in the numbers do not support the information about both of these teams. There's a huge defense advantage for Utah, and Baylor has only offense. They've only been an offensive team this entire season. So the total being so high does not support why the books are also favoring Utah by 7.5. So it's kind of weird to me. It doesn't really match up.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We know Baylor's quarterback, Robinson. He is either hot or he's not out there, right? He's either making those connections into the tight windows or he's throwing those interceptions. So, in this one at home, can Robinson do enough to help this total go over against Utah's defense?
It's really tough to say because he hasn't versed a defense like this all season. Most of the time, especially at home, they're putting up 30 points a game at at their house. But this is the toughest opponent they've seen come into their stadium. And the Utah have something to fight for. They're trying to get into the playoffs. They have two losses. They can't afford another one, and I think that they're going to try their best to win in one of their last road games of the season.
Okay, so Utah's still in the playoff race, currently sitting fifth in the Big 12. Um, if they win this and just win it, do you think they're still in the mix or do they need a dominant win here?
This, I think that there is another game on their schedule that they have to dominate. I think they need to dominate Kansas in order to really push their way in. But these last three games, period, are ones they need to win, and it just helps their case if they win definitively. This is probably the best offense they have left to play. So in your case, I agree with you. This is probably the game they need the biggest statement out of the last three they have to play.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because both of these teams come with a different style offensively. We talked about Baylor, we talked about Robinson. This is a high octane. They're going to fly that ball up and down the field. But when we look at Utah, their game plan is to just pound that rock. Baylor is weak against the run. So, where do you think Utah has success? Do you think that they're going to try to play something different, or is this just a standard Utah game? They're going to move the ball on the ground.
As a defensive coach myself, uh, I would tell my offensive coaches to run the ball as much as we can. If it's going to work, please run the balls because that it gives the defense more time to rest. It keeps them fresher and it keeps them available to make the offense make mistakes. So if the clock is winding down and Baylor can't run the ball, they have not been shown to be runners of the ball. They are a pass first offense. If they can win this game on the time clock and just limit possessions for a higher octane offense like Baylor, Utah should win this game by 10 to 12 points.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think of Devin Dempierre here, the quarterback for Utah? We know when we look at Baylor in the 9 games this season, 4 of those they've given up 60 plus rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks. Devin Dempierre coming in at a number of 59.5 as of this morning for his rushing yards. We know he's solid with his legs. He can run the rock out there. 59.5, is that getting a little high though? Do you think Baylor will have plans for him here?
I think they're going to be definitely planning for the run. I would trust in Dan Pierre's arm more in this game just because of the situation where Sawyer is Robinson's throwing the ball as much as he can, and if he gets any type of success, then I don't think the run game is going to be the best option for the Utah Utes. I just think that Dampier could be used in multiple ways, but I think he's more of a runner at home than he is on the road. So I would definitely suggest to stay away from that number. It's pretty high.
It is high for sure. But we're going to get into your best bets here in this game. Before we do, I want to remind you guys what is happening over on Picks and Parlays. Now, if you're looking for all of Dre's best bets in college football as well as the NFL, make sure you head on over and grab that Weekend Warrior package. And don't wait till Saturday morning, you guys. You'll get email notifications as soon as Dre does post his bets in the Weekend Warrior. So head on over. It's just $49. You'll get all plays Saturday and Sunday for that $49 price. And then he's going to throw in those Monday plays in Monday Night Football. And if you're looking for more than just football, because Dre does cover all sports, you can get the rest of 2025 for just $8.30 a day. It's such a savings here, you guys, if you're looking for those long-term packages. So head on over to picksandparlays.net to grab those. But Dre, when we look at this game, Utah versus Baylor, so much on the line for Utah. They have to win this game. They have to beat Kansas State and Kansas. Like you said, they need to dominate that one versus Kansas. What do you think here? Where are the best free plays for us?
We have to go with the Utes -7.5 here. Everyone but UCF and Samford have scored over 25 points on Baylor at home this season. And Utah is actually a very good road team. They only BYU has scored more than 14 points on Utah this season on the road. Utah is a very good road team defensively. I don't see Baylor having any type of defense to stop Utah in this game whatsoever. And we've seen teams like Oklahoma State, one of the worst offenses in football, score 27 on Baylor. That's not what you want to see when you come across a ranked team like Utah, who's only struggled against top-tier teams. So I have to go with Utah -7.5 here. It's probably the best play for me of the weekend. Yes, they're going to be competitive, but just because Utah might allow maybe 20 points to a team like Baylor doesn't mean they can't win this game 37-22.
Okay, I like it. Now, if this is playing out the way that you expect, is there anyone that people could consider for those anytime touchdowns for Utah?
I do not like Dampier's rushing yards, but I do like his rushing anytime touchdown, because when they get into that red zone, they're running that ball into the end zone. They're not looking to pass the ball into the end zone. So look for Dampier to scurry around when it comes to the red zone.
Okay, you guys, you heard it here. Dre is going to lay the 7.5 with the Utah Utes. He's also going to take Devin Dampier, their quarterback, to get that anytime touchdown. But you guys, let us know below this video what you're liking out there on the college football slate this weekend, as well as in this matchup here at Utah versus Baylor. If you think Baylor is a live barking dog, don't come at us next week and say you thought so. Drop it below in this video. And then also, let us know what you're liking for those anytime touchdown props. And while you're here, hit that like button and also hit the notification button here on YouTube so that you do know when all of these free videos are dropping on the daily. Dre, all the best in all of your bets. Keep crushing it out there.
Thank you.